Hey, if you're a highly sensitive person or an empath and the last couple years has zapped your energetic bandwidth, I feel you, I understand, and this video's for you. Now, if you've been on this earth the last few years, you know that things have gone off the rails. I mean, we've had a global pandemic, we've had violence in our streets, we've had people fighting with family members over social media, and it feels so overwhelming. And those of us who are sensitive, usually people who are trying to help others or feel called or feel a personal mission to help other people, probably because of that sensitivity or because of our history, we feel all of it. Who's with me? My name is Jodi 𝚓𝚘𝚖𝚊𝚗, and I've been a psychotherapist for 25 years, working with sensitive children, teens, and adults, helping them figure out the world, understand themselves, and figure out how to go forward even though they're sensitive. Not in a way that is so heavy and they just don't go out of the house and they just don't do anything and they just don't take any risks because it's too much. Not in that kind of way. In a kind of way that they feel calm, they feel centered, they feel confident, they feel like protected when they go out. So I made this video for you. It's called Energetic Shield Training. So we're going to talk about a couple things, and the big bulk of what's going on in this video is going to be that energy shield training. And it might be simple, but it's the belief that is going to make all the difference. But I wanted to talk, before I go into that, what we're going to do in the energy shield training, I wanted to say that sometimes you need to get away from difficult people, right? There's difficult people everywhere. There's difficult, thick, heavy energy everywhere we go right now. And so the question is, can you still do stuff? Or do you have to just stay home to avoid that negativity? You can still do stuff. So first of all, of course, if there's difficult people or difficult situations, you can physically remove yourself from that or avoid those kind of situations. But there's sometimes when you can't do that, isn't there? There's sometimes when you can't leave. Maybe you live with someone who's difficult, or maybe someone is just having a bad day. Maybe you work with someone who's difficult and you don't know what to do about it. And so in this training, I'm going to go over 2 ways that you could be energetically unavailable. Now, if you started to read the literature on empaths and highly sensitive people, you might have felt like, oh my gosh, I'm home. Somebody finally understands me. You've been growing up your whole life, feeling all the feels and thinking that was all you. And now you're realizing that's actually all the feels from other people or other energies that you're picking up on. What a relief, right? It's not all you. Now you have to figure out what is you and what is somebody else. But listen, while you're doing that, because that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and so far you're zapped, right? You're zapped, you're coming into this process zapped. And so what we need to do is help you block out the energy that you do not want to let in so that you could do that work of understanding what's yours and what is someone else's. So let's talk about an energy shield. So this is just basically a barrier that you put around yourself so that that negative energy that's coming in from outside of you hits that barrier and falls to the ground and transmutes into benign energy. So you want to put this barrier around yourself. One of the best ways that was taught to me by my teacher, Reverend Marcy Seidel, was to imagine yourself in a dome of glass. And on the outside, it's like a 2-way mirror, because on the outside of the glass, it's a mirror. And so any energy that might be coming in at you just gets reflected back off and doesn't come in. And inside that dome is white light and energy and fortifying love and healing and wholeness and goodness and the breath of life. So you are going to do a guided visualization where you envision yourself in this dome of 2-way mirrors, and you're inside filled with warmth and love and light and joy and happiness and comfort. And while you're doing that guided visualization, I want to encourage you to also do it kinesthetically, which means while you're in this dome and it's filled with all this goodness and you could see that all in there, I want you to imagine how it might feel to be in there as well. how it might feel to feel that light all in your body and that love and that warmth and that healing energy inside you, growing, growing, growing. So imagine the power of the vectors of it coming out from all directions, this light, this goodness, this wholeness, this healing energy. And if it's coming out so strongly at such a high vibration that nothing could really match it and get in this way, right? The energy, it's like water pressure. It's coming out from all sides. Nothing could go the opposite direction. But on top of that, you have this dome of two-way mirrors. So on the inside, you could see out. You could give whatever you want to give. You could be that helper in the world and that lover and that giver if you want to. I did this every morning for years and it totally changed my life. I was in my bed before I even got out of bed and I visualized the dome over me and the power coming within me. And then if I knew I was going to be in some situations that were unknown or a little risky, or I knew I was going to be around somebody that was a little bit difficult, right before I did that, I did this guided visualization again. And that very strongly and very powerfully protected any energy for coming back at me. Now, this is the important piece. You have to believe that the shield works. You practice the shield, you practice building that energy inside, but also you have to believe it. Because if you're highly sensitive and your whole life you've been taking on everything of others, you don't know any other reality than that. This is kind of a new paradigm for you to think that you can block this out. So you have to believe it, and that belief is everything. If you believe you take stuff in, you take stuff in. You're creating your own reality. If you believe you could block that out, that is going to make a huge difference in you being able to block it out. And this doesn't mean if someone's directly mean to you or someone treats you unfairly or someone's unjust, this doesn't mean you're not human and you're not going to hurt about it. It means you're not going to feel it. You're going to understand it and take it in up here, and you could process it in a different way. So I teach people how to change their clairsentience to claircognizance, where that they can understand it and decide what to do. It's a much more actionable way to go forward in life, and it is so much easier. It does not take your energetic bandwidth like clairsentience does. Now, these things are blessings. It's really, really cool to be very sensitive. It's going to up-level your life. It's going to help you very strongly in your mission to be a good person in this world. But sometimes it feels like a curse. And we want to take all the blessings and we want to get rid of the curse. So let's talk about that second way I told you that I was going to tell you about in this video. And I call this the energetic eye roll. So yes, you're going to have your shield up and you're going to have all this strongness coming from outside of you. So that's going to absolutely help you, like if you're walking through an airport or you're doing something. But when you're talking to somebody who is difficult, you want to think about doing the energetic eye roll. Now, if any of you have been around teenagers and they've rolled their eyes at you, you know how dismissive that is. You know, they're really blocking whatever you want, that great advice that you have for them. They're blocking it from coming in. They're like, ah. And so an eye roll is something that blocks that thought, that belief, that idea from coming into you. And you know that once you absorb it, it is so hard to get rid of it. I know people that have been doing self-care every day, all day for the last couple of years and still not feeling good. That's because they absorb stuff and it just takes way too much energy to try to get rid of it once you absorb it. So with the shield and the energetic eye roll, you're not taking it in. So you don't have to do that really, really hard work of letting it go. And you know that if you've had trauma in the past, it is so much easier to take this stuff in because it's so familiar. It's so familiar with those old stories of trauma. And so we really need to do this practice. And as you practice it more and more, it'll get more and more fortified and more robust, and you'll feel better and better and better. But the energetic eye roll is when somebody says something that's not for you, you energetically roll your eyes and it becomes its own barrier. It becomes a barrier to like the belief, the thought, or the idea, whatever it is. And so I call it an energetic eye roll because we don't do it outwardly, because that would really trigger the other person. That might be dangerous for you because they might attack you or get defensive or make it all about them or something like that. And so you're doing the energetic eye roll inside your mind. But it's going to work at blocking those things and letting them fall to the ground where they transmute into benign energy and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I hope this energy shield training serves you at your highest level so that you can do this very important mission you have in the world. If you want more from me, if you want to know a little bit how to connect with your inner guidance system, that intuition that you have, because if you're sensitive and you're empathic, then you have a very strong and sharp intuition. And this is something that you could build your skills around to make it work for you even better. This program will continue to robustify you, prepare you, protect you, and also cohere you to the field. That means you'll be working together in unity. It won't be like you against everything anymore. And this is where you'll learn what's yours and what's somebody else's and what you should do about it. There is so much to this program. Look through these videos. You could hardly believe the amount of topics that I cover in this comprehensive program. It's one of the best things that I've ever created. It's about 30 plus videos and handouts and audios on how to uplevel your spiritual skills. I cover everything, and the details and the names of all those videos are below. If life is supplying you with more questions than answers right now, you need to take this program. Because you need to change that clairsentience to claircognizance, where you could learn how to make better decisions, learn how to take care of yourself better, learn how to take care of your loved ones better. That means your career's better, your family's better, your community's better, in ways that this world needs them to be better, right? You need to be better. You see how everyone needs to feel better. In this program, because I've been working as a psychotherapist for 25 years doing this work with people, this program teaches you how to not only uplevel yourself, but know what to do, what they need, and how to uplevel everyone else in your life. You need this. We need this program right now. We need to understand what is going on. We need the answers. So you could either register below or get more information. But in the meantime, keep practicing that energy shield training. Keep practicing that dome of two-way mirrors, because I promise you, it's gonna let that you want to be shine through.